What's up, guys? Cinematic Controller here, and today we're going to be trying to see if we can make a prosperous farm out of owning a few bits of land, starting out with a truck, a tractor, and a little over $105,000, and see if we can make our money back and make a profit, or if we're going to crash out. If y'all are hyped for this series, hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see y'all after that intro. Hit it! Alright, so we're beginning this season out, and we're in the middle of the beginning of August, and we have approximately 3 fields worth of land, and no plow, no seeder, no seed, no nothing. We're starting out basically from scratch. We owe the bank around $200,000, and we kind of gotta make do what we got. We also have a chainsaw, so we can maybe make some money from cutting down some trees around here, and maybe even we can get some of our neighbors that have some trees traveling their property. We might be able to cut that down for them, make some extra dough on the side. But I think our first order of business should be to try and see if we can kind of maybe make some money by cutting down some of these trees over here, and maybe open up some land that we can use to build some stuff later when we have some more money. So let's get our chainsaw out. A lot of shrubbery around here. We may have to get like a brush hog for this. Not having a lot of luck, so I'm guessing we have a lot of brush, which means we're gonna have to worry about dealing. But we're gonna try and get this tree cut. It's not super big, obviously, but oh yeah, maybe we'd like to make some money off of this if we can. So we're gonna try and see if we can cut down some of these branches as well. Okay. Super high here. Okay. Get all these little branches cut off of this, and then we should be in the good to start trying to make some, trying to sell this out. Alrighty, so we got this little tree cut. I know it's not a lot, but let's go get this thrown over into the dually trunk of the bed, and maybe even hopefully make a little bit of money off of this, because we also have to factor in the gas we have to put in these things, because we have a 2008 Ford single cab dually, so I want to make sure we get the most that we can out of this. And we have a John Deere 310 diesel as well. We were able to get a pretty good deal with it, and we even got it where it has a front loader attachment, so in the future when we need to get like front loaders and stuff, we'll be able to, instead of trying to carefully momentarily walk those tree branches over the truck, we're just going to take and get the truck over there and get this thing done faster. And we're gonna just drive over here. And there's a boat. This piece of land has a little bit of some like nice waterfront property views. Pretty nice. We're gonna go ahead and just see if I can remember right where that tree was that I just cut down. Somewhere in this area right here. Drove right past it. Alright. Let us grab this one, and we're gonna see if we can get this sold off, hopefully, and make us a little bit of money, because money would be very nice about now, because we need to make some so that we can maybe get us a seeder so we can try and look into trying to at least, first off, we need to try and get ourselves a plow so we can try and plow some of this land up so that we can maybe get some good money out of it, because this is some good land. It's just we don't have a lot of experience with it, and so we're gonna have to kind of fasten our tension belts on this wood so it doesn't go flying around in the truck bed. And we're gonna go ahead and get this little bit that we have taken off, or actually let me run the perimeter of this and see if maybe we can find ourselves another, that looks like a tree that can be cut down. We're gonna go ahead and hop out of our truck real quick, and we're gonna go ahead and get the, ooh, this is a nice one. Here we go. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna try and get, okay. So not a lot we can see here, but it looks like it's a lot than what we started out with, so that's always a great start. Throw this in the bed of the truck. We're gonna go ahead and just okay. We got our tension belts undone because we need to try and this tree. Let me go take it over here where we have a little bit more to do with it, as we can actually see a lot more of it. And we're going to try and cut off all this extra dead weight that we don't need, because we need to try and make the most that we can. And the lumberyard definitely doesn't want just a bunch of leaves. Alrighty, get these bits of wood into the truck. Eventually we'll be able to get some other equipment which will help us do this a lot better. For the time being, we're going to try to make do with the chainsaw in our current equipment. So we're going to go ahead and get those tension belts fastened, and then we're going to look into trying to find us someone to buy all of this wood. And hopefully we can get a good price for it. So we got back to the property after selling the wood. We only made about 16 bucks. Not a lot, but considering what little wood we had, that's not really surprising. I did stop by the store though afterwards to try and see about potentially getting us a subsoiler or a plow to try and start getting started on getting some crops in so that we can potentially make some decent money this year. Problem was that anything that was more than definitely workable with our tractor is a little bit more expensive than we currently can afford, but There was one that's a decent price, and the dude said it might work. He said he's not for sure. He's never had someone try and pull it with a 3010 diesel John Deere, so there's a lot to that that's also partially a factor. So for now, we're playing it a little safe and not buying it because it was like $6,000. And that $6,000 we can't really afford to lose, because even if at best we take it back, they'll maybe give us 4, which isn't really good because it means we're taking a $2,000 loss. But we do need to find some more work. Luckily, while I was at the sawmill, the guy giving us our money did tell me about a potential lead on someone who had some trees on his property he needed dealt with, but he didn't want to deal with it himself and was willing to pay someone. And also, he's letting whoever does it haul off the wood for themselves, meaning that could be some potentially extra money for us. But I do want to be a little cautious with this, as depending on how big the trees of deadwood are, there's a chance we could end up trying to bite a little more than we can swallow, because the truck's bed is only so big. So I don't want to take any chances on trying to get us ahead and trying to see about getting us some more information before we start agreeing to deals, because I don't want to start wheeling and dealing a guy if I don't honestly know if we're going to be able to for sure do it, as I'd rather not give the guy a false hope that we're going to be able to and then find out that we can't due to circumstances of not having enough storage space for said wood or not having the right type of equipment to get the wood cut down. Like I said, I'd rather play it a little safe. We're going to trim up a few of our trees here on the property itself, as we have a lot of trees that can be kind of trimmed down a little and dealt with so that we can make a little more. So we're going to go ahead and try and do that and make us some more money. Get this little piece of wood into the truck and to the truck. We're going to get this over here. But I definitely want to try and see if we can hopefully find a solution to our subsoiler problem or a seeder or something of that variety, so that we can try and hopefully make some decent money, as the last thing we need is to go this season without making any real money. But we can't just resort to cutting down trees all season, so we'll definitely have to figure something a little more permanent out. If there were more areas that needed grass cut, maybe we'd get us a cheaper mower and try and see about just cutting people's grass for the time being to make us some extra money. And we might still do that, because it could still potentially net us a little bit of money that we could still spend to try to get us a little bit in there. So we're going to try and get us a little bit financially better. Let's see if we can find some more trees. That one should be. There we go. this bugger down, and then we definitely should be in business to make some, hopefully, decentish money. See, can we get this guy? Ooh, yeah, this is a big one, alright. Get into the bed of the truck. Yeah, that's definitely, it's probably the biggest piece of tree we've had. Let's get this one over here where it's a little more visible, to where we can try and get this all cut down, and then we're going to take it over to the get that little branch off already. Alrighty, get this into the truck. Okay. In here real quick, make sure we get these all nice and fastened down, and we're going to go ahead and get this over to the sawmill and see if maybe we can hopefully get a little bit more money. So coming out of the lumber mill, we actually got a very interesting call from the manager of the hardware store. So the dude said that he actually did have a subsoiler that worked with a John Deere 3010 diesel, and so we went ahead and ordered it and paid for it, and we're going now to go pick up our subsoiler just so we have it ready so that we can start cultivating our fields, so that we can start getting crops grown to make some money. Let's get this thing backed up, back it up. Onto the dolly. Alright. I'm gonna do something about this entranceway, because this entranceway is atrocious, especially being on like a corner. Like, I have to try and avoid traffic to get into the road, which is kind of annoying, but obviously we'll deal with it. So let's get over to the hardware, to the store, so we can go pick up our subsoiler. This having no canopy is definitely probably going to be a problem, especially in the really hot time of the year when we have all this sun bathing down on us, burning us, and I'm probably going to need to reconsider a wardrobe change. Is all black was definitely not my best choice. Turn it off here, leads us straight to the store. Alright, we got some coming. Alright, clear on that side, let's get it going to go pick up that subsoiler and get it back to the farm, so that maybe we can get started on some subsoiling. So the dude did warn me that he's had it in the back for a while, so he knows for sure it will connect to a John Deere 3010, but he said he's not very sure on if it will actually fully work. We're going to just have to take the gamble, as $5,000 is about as cheap as we would get. And I'd rather take the gamble on this, because he said he'd be willing to try and get us as close to a good refund as he could. So, like I said, appreciate the dude finding this, because I definitely would have been remiss if we wouldn't have found a subsoiler this year that would have fit our tractor. Backing this thing up is a bit. I swear, they should have thought of putting rear view mirrors on this thing when they Alrighty. And now time to get back to the farm. It looks good and all though, so I'm definitely gonna say that this is probably gonna work. And for our sake, I hope it does, because we're still at 100k. We haven't even leased us a seeder, and we'll probably end up having to lease us a harvester this year. And hopefully, from the money we get from harvest, we should hopefully be able to make enough to actually get some progress made on getting us our own equipment, like our own seeder and our own harvester. We're just going to take this way, because I don't feel like slightly better. I'm going to just drive across here real quick, because actually let me do a little stretch of test. So we're going to lower the cultivator. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe I'm hoping I didn't get gypped. So we'll just have to see. I'll have our mechanic friend take a look at it and see if he knows why this thing doesn't seem to be working. But with that, I think that's a good place to end it for today. If y'all enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and if you did, see y'all in the next video. Peace out, squad.